I remember even at a young age, I was playing baseball and we were having races after practice. And I remember I beat this kid, this guy, and he starts crying. Now, no one was making fun of him. I outran most of the team, right? Like, no one was making fun of him, but he was just so ashamed that he was beat by a girl. I couldn't comprehend it at the time. Those little memories as a kid kind of blew my mind, because it's so silly to me that somebody's gender could affect someone that much. Like, being beat by a girl could affect somebody that much. For a long time, I kind of put out the idea of being in any kind of fighting, combat sport, whatever. I competed in karate tournaments and did really well with that when I was young, but kind of put that out of my mind for a while because I didn't want to damage anybody else's ego, right? How unfair is that to me? And how unfair is that to other women who want to partake in these sports and who want to be good at these sports? Hi, I'm Katy O'Brian. I'm a martial artist and actor based out of Los Angeles. After a while, I got back into martial arts. Went to Indiana University, they had a great martial arts program. Started training in the Hapkido program there, in the self-defense program. And that was like a totally different environment. They were very, very encouraging of the women. And the other guys there were too, and it was kind of the first time I experienced that, and I thought that was fantastic. It was amazing. It was kind of life-changing to go into this rough sport and have these guys that if I did beat, they shook my hand and they were like excited about it, and it was just such a great attitude and such a healthy environment to be a part of. I moved to Los Angeles 4.5 years ago to pursue a career in film and TV. Since then, I have been a series regular on the hit sci-fi show Z Nation, been in The Walking Dead, another cool zombie show, been a guest star, I've been in movies, and most recently I was in The Mandalorian. Ever since then, I kind of hit the ground running. Los Angeles has such a variety of awesome martial arts schools that I've been able to train at and learn from some of the greatest fighters out there. So we take a lot of those concepts that I've learned from martial arts and I've applied them to how I go about my acting career. Resilience, learning how to get back up, learning how to not take to heart a defeat, if you want to even view it as that or call it that. Learning how to push through mental barriers, learning how to push through physical barriers, just general discipline. I have noticed that after all those years of taking some nasty throws and getting back up, going to classes where I just was awful and continuing to go in, and eventually seeing improvement and getting better, right? But also, walking in and having people maybe not see you for who you are or not necessarily respect you right away, because they make judgments on you just based off how you look or your gender or whatever it is, and continuing to go in and meet with these people. That has, I think, above almost anything else, helped me with my successes so far in acting. I've been rejected for roles because I wasn't the right race, I wasn't the right size. They wanted someone much bigger or much smaller. I was way too young, way too old. Learning how to be resilient, learning how to overcome that constant rejection, push through any kind of other obstacles that you have in your pursuit of a career, in life in general. It's going to benefit you no matter what you're going after. So it's just constantly standing back up and growing. I'm very fortunate that within the last 10 years or so, I want to say, and especially just as I started my acting career, androgyny started to become, I hate to say it, but kind of fashionable. It wasn't so negatively looked at anymore. People were starting to embrace the beauty of it, starting to embrace the fact that gender norms weren't always the best representation of the world, because there's so many different types of people out there, and Hollywood wasn't really representing a huge portion of those people, and especially not in a really positive light. So when I first came out, that was kind of one of the things that actually kind of was getting me jobs in a strange way, whereas maybe 12 or so years ago, it would have very much hurt my career. That and my martial arts experience has really sort of put me into this brand of being the fighter. The apocalypse survivor, oddly, is like a really popular thing right now. We started to see that I was going into kind of the same type of role that I didn't necessarily want to always be, because I don't think it's a positive reflection either, not necessarily just of humanity, but also of LGBT presence. I'm more often cast as a henchman than a character that has emotional depth, because a lot of what we're still looking at is male hero, male villain, female sidekick, female henchman now, right? That's kind of where we're at. Now I'm playing all these bad guys, and a huge percentage of that is how I look. So I'm starting to turn those roles down now. I'm lucky to be in a part of my career where I can start to do that, and I'm hoping to either develop characters of my own that can fit these other roles, be more positive influences, be the hero, and be successful just as they are. That's just kind of what I want to show. It's not about being like the fittest or the most badass or anything like that. It's just about self-love and knowing that you do have a place in this world and that you matter. I get asked all the time online, are you a man or a woman? Because I didn't know women could have muscle. I didn't know that women could fight like that or whatever, or women can't have short hair. There's all these like just really, really silly gender stereotypes that don't make any sense. And I'm hoping that seeing more of this, having more of it around you, because I mean, that's part of the issue, is that people just they're not familiar with it, they don't know it. It's like pushed in the closet or something. So seeing it, making it more present, making it more available, I'm hoping will show people that masculinity, femininity, whatever, it's all what you make of it. It is essentially kind of a social illusion, it's a social construct, but it's also very much possible to be feminine, have short hair, have muscle, to feel beautiful that way. And it's okay for you to see someone like that and recognize them as beautiful as well. You don't have to be super, super buff, ripped, whatever, to be powerful, to be strong. I love that message. I think it's really important, but I also think it's important to see a variety of types, of body types on screen that can also perform those skill sets. We've perpetuated these stereotypes of what it is to be a hero, for instance, and it excludes a huge percentage of the population. I would say the majority of people. I really think it's important that we start showing a variety of people in these roles, because the whole point of the superhero genre or the action genre is to be able to live vicariously through these characters and see ourselves in these characters. You know, we're talking about The Mandalorian. The character has a mask on the entire time. So you can see yourself in that character every second that he's on screen, or they even are on screen, because there's a mask. We need to give people an understanding that at any point in their lives, they have an opportunity to be a hero, one way or another. And if we don't see that portrayed very often, it's kind of difficult to see ourselves in that position. But I do think that anybody has that capacity to be out there and represent in their own personal life somebody who can do great things and somebody who can lift others up, help others. And I think that we should show that variety on screen, that anybody has that capacity to in one way or another, be the leading man, be the hero. Thanks for joining. I hope you had fun. Signing out.